don't be afraid. I'm here to tell you, you've got one life to live and you might as well play full out. I'm talking about being fierce, being fabulous, and bringing your A game. I love my next guest on La Dolce Vita, the formula for fabulous living, where she's going to share her formula on how to be courageous and play all out. And that's what I'm talking about. So stay tuned.
Frankie Lee, dimmi, qual è senso della vita?
The meaning of life is to live la dolce vita, which is the formula for fabulous living.
Hi, my name is Heather Picken, and welcome to the La Dolce Vita Show, the formula for fabulous living. I'm the catalyst in helping you to be more confident, create your dream business, and attract elite clients and live a fabulous life. Here's Heather helping you to upgrade your life to
Fabulous. Upgrade your life to fabulous. Right, Frankie? You're fabulous.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of La Dolce Vita, the formula for fabulous living. Yes, I love saying that, and I always get a smile out of my guest every time I do that because it's all about having fun. And when you're not having fun, you're feeling kind of miserable, right, in your business or in your life. And I am here to really inspire women and women entrepreneurs to be a leader in their life, show them how to build their business and do extraordinary things. And I love talking about my next topic about really being able to live and play boldly, like really being courageous and talking about the formula when it comes to that. And my guest, Shannon Beasley Taitt, she has a new book. She's going to be talking about that. We're going to break down the formula for you because this is what it's all about. And I find that these episodes really talking about how to push past your set points and really, challenging your beliefs are probably the highest downloaded episodes. And here's my big ask for people that are tuning in to iTunes. If you could rate, review, and subscribe and share your love, because this is my mission and purpose to empower millions of women all over the world. And this is how it gets out there. And if you're on YouTube, you can just click on that little bell. I'm calling it Pavlov's bell because what that does, it notifies you when the next show episode is out and you don't want to miss it. So Shannon, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad I could be here.
And I love this topic about, living boldly, really being courageous. And before we get into that topic, we dive into it. Can you share with our listeners and our viewers a little bit about what you do and how you help people?
Sure. I am a life coach, trainer, speaker, and author of Deep Roots Consulting. And I've been able to really focus on helping people get the best from themselves. My mission is really to give hope by providing resources to help people not only live, but also to thrive. So that's really my overall mission.
I love that. And I always like to dissect how you really started your journey, because there's something inside of you that decided to take this on, really live full out and help other people. So what were some of the challenges that you were facing in your life that got you to this point today?
I would say when I started the business a few years ago, back in 2014, I was really at a crossroads, had just lost my mother in 2012 and was going through a bit of a depression because I felt like even at 40, I was an orphan. And how you are an orphan at 40, that's really an interesting concept, but it felt like I lost my anchor. And I knew that there were a lot of other people out there that were suffering from losses of any nature, whether they lost a job, whether they lost a relationship, a parent, a child, a place to live. And I wanted to help people through the training that I had received as a life coach get to the root of the issues that they were having so that they can live and grow. I wanted to be able to help them cultivate different problems that were going on in their lives, really stir around why and what is keeping me stuck in life. What is holding me back from being my best self? And then helping them create the possibilities of being able to move forward in life.
I think that's so important, and I think that's why people hire coaches and mentors just like you or myself, whether it be business, they have emotional issues. But we get into this place and space in our life where we can't get past ourselves. And it feels like our whole world is kind of crumbling around us. I mean, I know in my life, in my business, I've hired other coaches and mentors to get through personal issues. And so I really want to highlight the value that you're helping people with. And, I always ask this question, who would you be without your story? Who would you be without your challenges? So you can really help other people that are going through these issues, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think really we have to rely on the fact that all of the answers that we have pretty much do lie within ourselves. They've just been so stuck with issues or bad relationships where people may have pushed you down and you've lost yourself in some way, that I think that coaching really is an opportunity to open you back up, to really get a deeper look at who you are, whose you are, and what you want to be in this life. So I think that it's really important that a coach is there to help you become more accountable just to the things that you say you want to do, and to give you that extra little cheerleader on the side to kind of push you along on your journey.
I love that. And it's so true what you said. It's like having a coach or a mentor is going to push and accelerate you, because if you read the book, I don't know if my listeners or viewers have read the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller. And it's a really interesting statistic. I think it's 76.7% of people that get someone that hold them accountable will achieve their goals. So hiring someone like yourself to get really push past, accelerate, like feel like they can do it. And so I really encourage people, if you're listening to this and let's just say you're stuck, you're saying, my mom just died, or a family member just died, or my business is just going to crap, or I just don't know what to do, I'm in my head, is to invest in yourself, because that's how you get past the sticking point. I've done it myself. I will continue to invest in my inspiration, or if I have challenges. So Shannon, let's talk about, some of I love hearing stories. So if you could share some stories of clients that you've worked with, where they were before, some of the issues that they have had, and then how you help them to push through those issues.
Well, I've worked with a few clients, a lot of women primarily, that have been in this transition. I've been in this job for a while. I hate it. Don't want to go to work anymore every day, but I've got to feed my family. How do I either reinvent myself to create a second type of career where I can leave this job and either start my own business and be able to push myself out there and do the things that I feel passionate about and that I feel I want to share with the world, or if I want to just leave this job and find another job. Most people are so scared to really leave what's comfortable, even if it's miserable. And I think that whether I've been working with clients in relationships and have either seen relationships transform just by work that we've been able to do, I usually meet with clients for a 3-month period of time, and sometimes even a 6-month period of time, and really create a strategy of what do you want to accomplish in this time frame. And I know one success story for me was with a woman who hadn't been in the workforce for about 10 years, was really, really scared to get back out there again because she didn't feel that she had anything to offer. So really dissecting what her strengths were. I think she had spent so much time before we got into our coaching relationship, focusing on her deficits. Oh, I need to take this class because I'm not good in Excel, or I need to take that class because I'm not good at this. We spend so much time focusing on things that we don't do well, that we don't really enhance the things that we do well. She was really good at project management. She was really good at organization and details. So we pulled all of those things out and really looked at them and figured out, are there other training opportunities that will help you enhance the project management skills that you already have? Let's really dissect your resume, take a look at it. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? and really spending some time practicing interviewing, because most people don't know what to say in an interview and get flubbed and get lost and then feel like they've said nothing by the time they've left that 30 or 45-minute interview process. So she really was successful and realized, hey, I think I should start my own business. And I think from there, she really got the confidence that she needed, because that's really what she was lacking from the beginning. And that was just the ability to see that she could achieve anything that she wanted to achieve. So now she's starting her own consulting business, doing project management and assistant work for other organizations. So that's one really good success story.
I love that. And it's such a great story. And, I could kind of parallel this to someone getting stuck in their business, like beating themselves up. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. And really finding what your fabulous zone is, what is unique about you, and being able to play on that and delegate or hire other people that, are really a genius in that other area. So I think that's great. And so, what are some of your strategies? Let's just say, because part of your formula is about living boldly, living courageously. Let's talk about the world that we're living in today. Now, this could be either someone that is looking to get another job, or, transitioning from a job, or even an entrepreneur that is like, wow, I feel like the marketplace is getting saturated. The jobs are being taken away due to AI, artificial intelligence. So what would you say to those women that are listening that kind of feel frightened with some of the changes that are happening, and being able to, really play full out, play boldly, and navigate around those specific challenges?
Right. I think it is an interesting time, and we do have a lot of the artificial intelligence and machine industry that's really taking over a lot of things that humans have been able to do. But for me, I look at those things as opportunities. So when I would speak to any entrepreneurs or any women that are really afraid to step out there in a bold manner, it's where are the gaps? Somebody's got to push these buttons. Somebody's got to make the code. Somebody's got to do some sort of design that will help whatever we're doing in this transformative era that we're in to create this opportunity for change. And I think we all have to just stay on the cutting edge of what's going on in the business world, what's going on in the niche market that we're trying to cover. I think that's really important. Most people flounder, and especially women that I've worked with, because they're all over the place with the audiences that they want to work with. They want to work with young women and old women, and they want to work with some men too, because they don't want to leave them out. But then they find themselves so general and so broad that they don't know how to zone in on a particular need that the market is saying. So I think really just staying on the cutting edge of what's going on and finding a way to create a space for yourself, because we all have a space. We all have a place where we have a unique strength and need that we can bring out for people to use our services, buy our services and products. So I think that that's really important.
I love what you're saying. Yeah. And not running from the challenges, but, being a leader in going after challenges that are inspiring and not being afraid, because I really wanted to speak to that today, because I know a lot of people are kind of freaking out. I always call it my freak out moment when I don't know what to do. And it's people like you that can really lead them in a way where they can play, full out. They can be bold, they can be courageous, and they can reinvent themselves, whether it's their career or their business. So Shannon, let's talk a little bit about your book that you just released. Tell me a little bit about that and what your inspiration was for writing it.
Sure, and it fits right into the theme really that we're talking about as far as being bold and courageous. The name of the book is called Get Your Head in the Game, Life Lessons Learned from My Mother Through the Game of Basketball. And people are like, basketball? Who's really playing basketball at this phase of life? But for me, it was a nice way to pay a tribute to my mother, who again passed away from stage 4 cancer in 2012. She was a basketball coach, volleyball coach. She taught physical education and health for 36 years. So she was really my first coach. I played basketball myself. I have two daughters that are 14 and 11, and they play as well. And for me to instill some of the life lessons that I learned that metaphorically transfer from the game of basketball into life, that I'm able to share those with my daughters who can't really know the ins and outs of who my mom was since they were pretty young when she passed away. I think it's a great way for us to really see how things that we learn about the game are also things that we can use in life, we can use in business, we can use in relationships. And I think that really was an inspiration for me to get that going. So what the chapters are laying out in the book are really plays. It's kind of my mother's playbook, if you will, of life, and just lessons that we can take from that and really apply to, again, become our best selves.
Oh, I love that. I love how you tied in using your mom as the inspiration and that
Yeah.
she was a basketball coach. I remember playing basketball when I was in junior high. I was a forward.
Yes.
And
See,
it
so
was,
was I.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It was great, and I love studying. It's funny. I never was a sports fan until I started dating my boyfriend, and he shared with me really about the strategy of the game. And that's what really made it interesting for me, learning about football and then also studying coaches and looking at the importance that coaches play,
Yes.
in the game and tying it all together. Like, it's completely fascinating to me. I'm sure you're familiar with the coach, John Wooden. I believe he was one of the biggest basketball college coaches. And I don't know for what team. It was Indiana, but you probably know better. But what was really interesting about his philosophy was just try to do something a little bit better every day. And what that did is really creating that inertia. So when you're looking at, kind of coaching people to their greatness, to their power, what are some of the things that you help them to do, that they can just kind of chunk it down every day so they're not feeling overwhelmed?
I think that's a great piece. I think it really is practice, practice, practice. And we have to do exactly what you were saying John Wooden really expressed when he was coaching, and that is that we have to do a little bit at a time. I think we do get overwhelmed if we are trying to take on too much. So for me, some of the chapters in the book that really speak to that whole element of doing a little bit at a time would be one, to play your position. That's really the key piece for me, and one element that I share in the book, because so many of us try to spread ourselves way too thin in a lot of different arenas. We try to be the jack of all trades and end up being a master of nothing. And I think in the play your position, I go through what each position, of course, is on the basketball court, but I also talk about, you said you were a forward. So being a power forward, what that really means and how to power forward in your life. And I think that is a position that you would need to play. Now, someone else may need to be the center. So you may have somebody else who's heading a team or heading an effort, and that person needs to be the head because they have the expertise, they have what they need. Then you have one of the most important and most eloquent players on the court for me, and that is the point guard. And I think that point guard is that leader, the one who can see things before they're happening, that risk assessment type individual, not only on the court, but really in life, so that they can see all the angles of the court. They can see where the plays are going and where the passes need to go. And it's the same thing in business. If you have a good leader, they're able to, number one, they want everybody on the team to be able to be successful. So they create an environment for success by having people in the proper position. They also are kind of a cheerleader for the other people on the team. They can pick them up when they're down, when they're losing, when they're not doing well, because we all have those times in our lives where we're not doing well. And you need the other people on the team to help you support. So it really is about who are the key people on your team as well. I think that's another element. If you don't have the right people on your team, or as my parents would say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to get another group of people to be in the room with. And I think that's really what we have to do, really finding those people that bring out the best in you. So I think that's really what I promote in my business and also in the book.
I love that. I love that. And I totally agree. being a part of the team and having that coach, having that leader to really help you, because you don't know what your blind spots are, and you do need someone that can see a few steps ahead of you, you know, so they can position you in the right place, you know, for you to be powerful. And I think this is such great words of wisdom, Shannon. I really appreciate what you shared with us today, and I encourage everyone to get a copy of your book and learn more about you. And where can they do that?
Oh, that would be great. I would love it. Again, the book is called Get Your Head in the Game, and it can be found at my website, which is www.shannonbeasleytaitt.com. And that's ShannonBeasleyTaitt.com.
I love that. And for those people that are watching or listening, it's in the show notes. So you just click on the link and you can go right to her site and get her book and let her know that you heard her on this show. So Shannon, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And I just want to close this out with my final thoughts. If you are a woman that really wants to own your fabulous power, you owe it to yourself to really take the wisdom from all the guests that I have on my show and implement just one thing every single day that can make a difference. And you can leave your imprint, your impact in the world and live what I call your La Dolce Vita life, the formula for fabulous living. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. So if you found this show to be fabulous, please share with your fabulous friends, rate, review, and subscribe on YouTube and iTunes. And I'll make sure I take a beatbox lesson, right? Or give my little chihuahua a bone. That's me. Fabulous.